The Tau Riptide. What a beautiful mech. Every weeaboo's dream, every Tau player's dream, everyone else's nightmare. This beast of a model was a must-have for every Tau army. Well, it was very, very close to must-have. I've seen a lot of people say you would take 3 of these over crisis suits, period. And luckily, I got one. At such a great deal. Too much of a great deal, to be honest. You don't see it from this distance, but as I bring it closer, maybe you'll start seeing it. And as I pointed out, maybe you'll start seeing even more. This is what I call my Tau Rip-Off Tide. I got a really good cheap deal on this model, and I was very happy when I received it. But the second I opened it, I noticed there was something very, very off about it. First of all, talk about the model itself. I didn't glue the middle. I didn't glue its little body part there so I can move it around a bit. The gun is not glued either. It is magnetized, as I magnetized also the burst cannon. Bloop. And honestly, I don't get what the point of these little things here, these little flaps. They go up and they're down. I don't quite get it, but I decided to leave those unglued. So what's wrong with it? Well, I'll start out with the burst cannon itself. It's not even. I spent about a minute trying to figure this out, but this top part here, I don't know if I can get it angled perfectly in the camera here, it's slanted upward. This side's upward, the other side is downward. It's on a slant. As well as its halves aren't even. You can see here slightly it's off by like a centimeter or a whatever meter. And the back part here, it would not close. It would just stay split open. The inside here, it wouldn't even close either. There was something really odd about this. The front edge here, the front spot here, this little muzzle piece or whatever it is, they're not right either. It's as if someone just took a knife and decided to chop it off something, and not even file it so it's even. This little Sigma bobber here, this is also crooked. This side here is going much more up than this side here. It's slanted. And same thing with the bottom part here. These are also off. The ridges on the left are higher than the ridges on the right. In the back of the gun, the ridges here, they're also slightly off. This one comes more towards you than the other one on the left. And the model itself, when you look from a distance, it seems fine. But when you take a closer look at it, much like everything else, you notice it's also off. The halves here are completely off. It's not centered. The left shoulder chest plate, I have no idea what this is, but this is also off too. It's as if it wasn't a complete cut or a complete model. I don't know what it is, but I actually had to chip off a piece there just so that little thing pops out. That little thing should have room on both sides for it to be there, but I had to cut off a bit of it just to fit it. These packs back here, it came like that. I decided to keep the missile pod system permanently for this Riptide, so I glued them in place. But the problem was that there was no slit in there for me to put them on. I had to take a knife and actually cut open parts on the top so I can put these little missile pods on there. And even when you look, and also when you look on the back side, you can see these aren't even either. This here, this is off. The left side's down, the top side's above it. And you see the jet things down here. This one's actually longer than the right one. This is just warped and slanted to the left now, but this was longer. This little thing right here, that wouldn't even fit. I had to shove it in there and it's still slightly exposed. The little top part here, that's also came broken. And this model's just, it was a mess all over. The legs themselves, they look a lot better. But even then, there's still, you can still see the alignment issues. Like on the back, you can see, we can't really see at this angle of the camera, but these little things here, you can tell that they're off slightly, the alignment. Just by looking at them, how they don't line up. Back here, it's back of its ankle. That does not line up either. It's just, like I said, it's just a mess. And I contacted the seller. I told him, hey, you know, something's up with this model. And he told me to send pictures, description. I sent him all the pictures. I took up the model, descriptions, the whole kit caboodle. And they sent me a refund for the model, which was great. So I essentially got a free Riptide. And the reason why I didn't paint this model for so long, besides the fact I can't paint, I just usually spray it black and call it a day, but because it looks so bad when you look it up close. I'm pretty sure when I spray it black, it'll look much more presentable, but I mean, it's just whack as hell. And the reason why I call this my Tau Rip-Off Tide is because I'm fairly convinced this is either a 3D printed one or a counterfeit model. I'm not 100% sure if it is 3D printed, but I do know it is counterfeit. Because there is also a feel to it. A feel that doesn't feel like a 40K model. It feels kind of like a little brittle, a little cheap. Just, oh my god, looking at this I can see more problems with it. Like this little ring thing here, it has a texture on it. It looks like it wasn't even properly done. Looks like it was rushed out of the furnace or out of the whatever the hell they do to make these molds. So if there's any lesson here, no matter how good of a deal it is online, always consider supporting your local stores. At least then you know you're getting an actual GW model and not some, well, whatever this is.